This is Tampa Bay Video Citizen. And here's your host, Glenn Ryan.
We have all seen the camera footage over the past couple of years. Unruly passengers becoming aggressive on flights, to the point of attacking airline crews while they are doing their job. These behaviors included extensive verbal abuse, including from visibly drunk passengers, passengers yelling and swearing in response to masking directions, and often aggressively challenging flight crew working to ensure compliance with federal rules. Aggressive incidents included shoving, kicking seats, throwing trash at flight crew, defiling the restroom in response to crew member instructions, and following flight crew through the airport to continue yelling and harassment. A national survey conducted in July 2021 of nearly 5,000 flight attendants by the Association of Flight Attendants, found that over 85% of all respondents had dealt with unruly passengers, 58% had experienced at least 5 incidents in the first half of 2021, 17% reported experiencing a physical incident. For the entire year of 2021, nearly 6,000 incidents of unruly passenger behavior were reported. Federal aviation regulations state that
no person may assault, threaten, intimidate, or interfere with a crew member in the performance of the crew member's duties aboard an aircraft being operated.
The FAA can propose up to $37,000 per violation for unruly passenger cases, but it appears that fines and being placed on a no-fly list for a specific carrier has not been an effective deterrent to stop this behavior. So far this year, there have been 712 reports of unruly passengers. 474 of these cases were due to masks. 170 investigations have been started, and 92 have been sent for enforcement action. After an American Airlines crew member was assaulted in late October of 2021, Doug Parker, CEO of American Airlines, posted this message on Instagram.
Hello everyone. I want to take a moment to thank all of our customers for trusting us with their travels as people return to the skies, and also address a serious issue affecting air travel today. Over the past few months, the American Airlines team has safely transported more than 50 million passengers. Thank you very much for entrusting us with your safe travel. This trust is a tremendous responsibility, and it's one that we take very seriously. While the world reopening brings many positive aspects, there's been a very disturbing downside. We've all seen the reports of unruly behavior, people showing extreme disrespect, anger, and impatience toward each other. And while that is certainly not the case on the overwhelming majority of flights, this is happening far too often. On Wednesday evening, we had one of the worst displays of unruly behavior we've ever witnessed, when a passenger violently physically assaulted an American Airlines flight attendant. Let me assure you, American Airlines will not tolerate airport or in-flight misconduct of any kind, particularly toward our crew members or airport team. As to this individual, I can guarantee you he will never be allowed to fly American Airlines again. But that is not enough. This type of behavior has to stop, and the best deterrent is aggressive criminal prosecution. We immediately engaged local law enforcement and the FBI, and the individual was arrested soon after landing. We're doing everything we can to ensure he is prosecuted to the fullest extent possible. We're also working with the FAA, who has the authority to levy fines of over $50,000 to disruptive passengers. This will not just end with a travel ban. I want to thank our incredible crew for their quick action to ensure the safety of their fellow crew members and all of our customers on board. The crew's courage and ability to remain calm in difficult situations is characteristic of our team. But I'm very sorry that was needed of them. This should not be part of their job. Our thoughts are with our injured flight attendant and all crew on board, and we will make sure they have the support they need. Those of us in aviation chose this career because we know the power of travel, connecting people and serving others. Our hope is that as we reconnect and are flying together, we can all do so with respect, kindness, compassion, and grace toward your fellow passengers, toward the gate agents who are working your flight, and toward the crew who are ensuring your safety once on board. Most all of you are doing just that, and many are taking strides to be even more compassionate than normal. Thank you for that, and please keep it up. We could all use more of it right now. Thank you for listening. Thank you for flying American. Our amazing team is ready to care for you as you return to the skies.
On February 3, 2022, Delta Airlines chief executive Ed Bastian sent a letter to Attorney General Merrick Garland. He wrote,
"We are requesting you support our efforts, with respect to the much-needed step of putting any person convicted of an onboard disruption, on a national, comprehensive, unruly passenger no-fly list, that would bar that person from traveling on any commercial air carrier."
On February 14, 8 senators sent a letter to Attorney General Merrick Garland, including Florida's Rick Scott and Marco Rubio. In the letter, they stated,
"The federal government's role in denying access to the commercial aviation network has been limited to ensuring that suspected terrorists remain off of domestic flights. According to data from the Federal Aviation Administration, the majority of recent infractions on airplanes has been in relation to the mask mandate. While we strongly condemn any violence towards airline workers, there is significant uncertainty around the efficacy of this mandate. Creating a federal no-fly list for unruly passengers, who are skeptical of this mandate, would seemingly equate them to terrorists."
But there's more to this problem than just people opposing the mask mandate. Here is what Taylor Garland, a spokeswoman for the American Flight Attendants Association, pointed out in an interview on Yahoo News.
Let's just start with these figures. Are they because, passengers right now are refusing to wear masks, or is there something else that's happening here?
So masks are certainly a part of it. It sets up a situation where flight attendants have to interact with passengers, but it's not just masks, it's alcohol and it's routine safety reminders. Some of the worst offenders have been started when a flight attendant reminded a passenger to fasten their seatbelt for landing or pull up their tray table. So masks are certainly part of the story, but they're not all of it.
I'm a little bit confused, Taylor, because I already thought that assaulting a flight attendant or any crew member really could result in a felony conviction. I thought it was a violation of federal law. So are those laws, perhaps, are those folks not being really prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law? Or do you think that perhaps some of those laws need to be rewritten to be even stricter, perhaps give out even harsher punishments?
So we believe that the laws are in place to prosecute the people who commit these horrible offenses on board. What we're asking the DOJ is to really take these cases up quicker and make clear to the flying public that there are going to be consequences on the ground. Justice can be slow sometimes, but the issue is so severe that we're really imploring the Department of Justice to get on it.
The senators tried to build a distance between the passengers that are committing assault on flight crews from real terrorists. While these people may not be terrorists in the technical sense, their actions have injured or endangered those on a plane that is flying around 32,000 feet in the air. If that's not terrorism, what is? Whether or not they believe in the mask mandate is immaterial because they are violating the regulations that state they will follow directions of the flight crew. That's the same flight crew that is responsible for the safety of every person on board that plane. We believe that there should be a comprehensive no-fly list that all carriers will follow, but their placement on that list should be at the direction of a judge after they've been brought into court for their actions. They need to stay on that list for long enough time to inflict significant damage that will cause the perpetrator to think very long and hard about ever acting on a flight again. And there needs to be a process that will allow the person the ability to get off that list. That is something that the airline should have significant input on. What we are witnessing is that the current system is not protecting these airline crews. So we need to ramp up the punishment to the point that people will be forced to think very hard about the consequences before they assault an airline crew member, defile an onboard restroom, or refuse to comply with the instructions. After all, the safety of those on board the plane is paramount. As for the senators from Florida that do not think that airline crew safety is that important, the members of the airline industry in this state can send a message to both senators. Marco Rubio is up for re-election this year. Actively campaigning and voting for his opponent in the upcoming election will be the best message, not only that will reverberate with him, but will also not go unnoticed by other senators as well, especially if he loses. Senator Scott will be up for re-election in 2024. Thank you for watching our show. Please, if you like what we're doing, please click the subscribe button at the bottom and also like our program. It helps us to get views and it helps us to bring up our ratings so other people can find us. Have a good night, and thanks again for watching.
This film was produced by Glenn Ryan, who is solely responsible for its content in conjunction with Tampa Bay Citizen.